Hi, guys. Welcome to the podcast. Today, I am here with Manzi. He's one of our artists from Africa. He's got an incredible story. He's an absolute inspiration to every single one of us here at the company. And we're so excited to launch him as an artist on our sites, as well as give you guys some insight on some of his new pieces that he's releasing. So, Manzi is from Rwanda. He grew up in a beautiful family with a beautiful home. And due to political unrest, him and his family had to flee the country, and he now resides in Kenya in a refugee camp. So Manzi is now in a refugee camp, and we've partnered with him. He's one of our digital artists, where he creates art of things that he's seeing in Africa and his relationship with Jesus Christ. And what's special about this is anything that you guys purchase is going to go back to Manzi and his family. It's going to help him build a better life for him and his family to hopefully someday leave the camp and create this beautiful life of his own. So, Manzi, we're so excited to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Hunter. I'm also excited to be here with you today.
Currently, Manzi is in Kenya right now. So you're recording from your home in Kenya. Tell me a little bit about the camp. What is it like?
Okay, I live in a place in Kenya called Kakuma Refugee Camp. It's located in Turkana County. I live in a pretty bad area, but keep faith in God. Yeah, I still live on, but it's not a good place to live.
So you've started creating this digital art, and it's been incredible to see your progress. There's one piece that I love that just has always struck me. It's so beautiful.
So that's one of the best art that I've done so far. As you said, also you like it. I like it myself also, even though it's my own piece. I've been trying to do art that shows happiness within me, not like the depressing situation that I'm currently in. So that kind of a piece is one of the things that pulled me out. Like I was doing my art, I was sitting and before I do art, I just sit and be like, what kind of a piece I'm going to do today? Like what kind of art I'm going to do today? And then I go through my memories. I go through what I see every day, and I'm gonna do something that is gonna inspire someone to help, or someone who's in the same situation as mine. So that kind of an art is resembles happiness to myself. I live in a lot of issues, Hunter, like a lot of issues in a camp, but like despite all the struggles, I always come up with something that is gonna make me so happy, like something that is gonna tell me that today it's bad, tomorrow it's good. So that kind of a piece resembles happiness, like seeing that young girl sitting with the chicks, praying with them. Like it really touched me, and I was like, I'd never seen that, but like I was like, how would you describe something that would look so cute from your mind, just creating, apart from all the struggles I'm going through, how would I just put on something which shows cuteness and happiness in one art? So that's an example of like some how I can still create my own happiness despite the struggles. So like that kind of art is like the beauty that is hidden behind the struggles you live in. Like in every situation, Hunter, there is always happiness. So like I came up with that idea of a girl sitting in the shit. It's really cute. So anyone would see it, wow, you'd be like, wow, this is so cute. That's the whole thing. But there is like that's hope, like that's kind of how happiness looked in my mind when I was doing that.
That's beautiful. I want to backtrack a little bit.
Mm.
So before we start talking too much about the art that you're creating, I want to talk about how you create the art. You've got solar panels, you sit and charge your laptop for hours on end, you stay up till 3 in the morning, so the internet is good enough. Tell me a little bit about what it's like to create art. It's a big process for you. So as you create art, it is more
Yeah.
meaningful to you because it takes longer.
Yeah, like you're right, Hunter. Like I remember like when we first met, like I never had internet, especially I never had solar panels. So I was struggling a lot. This is a very big process, I'm telling you. Like I would work during day hours and I would work during late night hours just like to wait so that this like the internet using SIM card is very slow during the daytime. So you have to wait like 3 a.m. 3 a.m. so that like the internet, that's when the internet is going. Then I would go in and just start doing some art. And then sometimes my laptop would like lose power and I don't have where to charge it, and I'm gonna have to stop from there. And maybe I was working on something which was very interesting at the moment, but like, thanks to God and all His blessings and the people He brought in my life. Right now, as you said, I have solar power. I can walk anytime, anywhere. Though the struggles never stop, but I thank God for where I am right now.
It's beautiful that the love of Jesus Christ spans to America, to Europe, to Africa, to Asia, and Jesus Christ
Mm.
loves all of us. And so I want to hear a little bit more about your relationship in Jesus Christ and the meaning behind your Christian art pieces. Let's talk a little bit about this piece.
So I remember that piece I did. I made that piece of Jesus hugging a black child. I made that piece as like that child was supposed to be an orphan. Here in Camp Hunters, like there are a lot of children. There are a lot of children who came without parents. Like they're just homeless. They are like they don't have any guardians and they're just in the street begging for food. So like one day I sat down and see like this young boy. I saw one young boy who was homeless. I was still in reception center. I saw a boy who was being registered like like as an orphan. I was like, one day this young boy is gonna stand as a man somewhere and say where Jesus got him from. So like that piece of an art presents that Jesus is a father to all children, to all children. There are a lot of orphans in the camp, a lot unattended children who pass through a lot, education, food, anything, clothing, everything. But despite all of that, Jesus keeps them alive until the day they grow beards. They stand in public and be like, I was once like this. So Jesus is a father to every children. That's what that piece means. So I present Jesus in this kind of way, like in this point of view, whereby like I present Jesus from what I see He's doing in the camp. If you want to see the work of Jesus, come in the camp. See how people survive from one meal a day and they still live despite of one meal a day. So that's where you know that Jesus is really making, Jesus is really keeping some people alive. And like I've seen a lot of Jesus's miracles, especially on my side. If I tell you that I almost spent 1 week without eating, you might not accept it. But here I am, Hunter. I never died. That's one of the work of Jesus. Despite the struggles, he's still the father to every child. That's my piece there.
I
Yeah.
think it's so powerful to look at you and your experience and for you to say that Jesus is here helping me. I think it's really easy for people to go, oh, my life is hard. Jesus must not love me. But that's not the case.
Yeah.
No matter who you are, no matter your circumstance, Jesus loves you. Jesus takes care of you. You've got another piece
That's
of
what.
Jesus with a family. And I think it's so beautiful to see that you've got the African ties. Jesus's hair has hints
Yeah.
of dreads in it. Tell me a little bit more about this.
Okay, those are women's giving their children to Jesus for blessings. I'm gonna give an example to my own mother. I reached I was once sick, very sick, and it was very hard. My mother said something that is like, at this point I cannot do something. Instead, I'll put you in the hands of Jesus. Most of the parents, I would say, in Africa, especially in no lives, like they reach a point where they can't do anything to their children. Like their children are passing through a lot. If they're Christians, especially my father likes saying this thing that when we are getting so bad in behaviors, he's like, for me, I surrender. Then Jesus does what he needs to do to you people, but for me, I surrender. So like parents here, when it reaches an extent to where they can't handle what their children is going through, they be like, we give everything to Jesus. I'll give an example to my family. I'll give an example to my family. They have this saying that they normally use, especially when we want to do something. They'd be like, if this is what Jesus wants, it will happen. If he doesn't want this, it's not gonna happen. That's what the art means. That's what the art means. I did that art like especially when it came to my own family. Like that's that kind of way. When things are so impossible, they just be like, Okay, you know what, my son? Go and play. Let's leave these things in Jesus' hands. He will handle it. If it's necessary, he's gonna walk on it. Yeah.
I think it's very hard sometimes to submit to the will of Jesus,
Mm.
because sometimes we want something that he's just not going to give us. But I think it's so beautiful to see that these African women, with all their many trials and their struggles that they go through, that they're so willing to just say,
Yeah.
this is all up to you, my Lord, my Savior, Jesus. This is just take it from me. Whatever your will, let it be done. And I think that's so beautiful. If we
Yeah.
really are supposed to follow in the footsteps of Jesus, then we really do have to submit to the Father and His will. There was a piece that I recently saw that you did that is just so powerful. You've got so many bright colors. You can see the African influence in this art. So I want to ask you the inspiration behind this piece, but I also want to ask you, why is African art so colorful?
Colors and blindness, like colors means hope. It depends, like every color has meaning when it comes to Africa. Like colors has meaning. No matter where they are. I'm gonna give you an example. Like you can see this bracelet that I'm putting on. Like it's not just like I just liked it. No, the colors matters. The colors matters. I'm gonna say especially on me, yellow, white, purple. Those are my favorite colors. Whatever that color is mixed in, like it shows like hope in me. Colors is it's a signal, like it's a sign of hope to us. If the color looks so good, like that means this thing is good. If like let's just swear, let me give you an example. Like if I wake up today in the morning and the weather, like okay, I don't know if this is happens where you live, but like there's this kind of color of a sun when it's going down, it looks like red. We like it because like that it's not like it's red, but the kind of brightness that it brings out. So colors means hope to us. Those were people following Jesus. When you see in that piece, they're not following Jesus in a place where there are wealth, like they're just walking in the middle of mountains. They're just like following, regardless of not seeing hope today. They still stay decided to follow Jesus. Can you see the way? Like it's only mountains. There are no cattle. There are no houses. There's no even water. There is no water around them. You can see they're only walking with Jesus. They believe in him regardless of where the way is going. This is what I learned. This is what I learned. Even if the odds doesn't add up, still I still stay in the way Jesus is saying. Like you can see they're all going in the way. No one is standing. No one is standing. No one is changing their mind. They're deciding if Jesus says this is the way we have to move in, we are moving in this way. That's the part. That's about that art. Like regardless of how the odds are not adding up, regardless of how bitter the situation is getting, regardless of the struggles during the way, they still stayed. Like that's the faith. That's just like that art symbolizes the faith, like strong faith in Jesus, like believing Jesus even if the ways are so bitter, even if the struggles are too high.
I think we've got time to
Yeah.
talk about one more piece. Let's dive into um, this one here.
Okay, that one also goes to many people, especially African children's. That's especially for African children's. It's a story. Like once you sit with every child in a refugee camp, they're gonna give you a story whereby only Jesus was able to help them. Only Jesus was able to help them. So like that's kind of an image in their head. They have that specific time where they'll tell you like if it wasn't for Jesus, even if they're not Christians, I'm gonna tell you this. In refugee camp, this is a moment whereby every person is gonna tell you that picture looks like Jesus was bending down to help a child, but is that's not a child? That's every person in a refugee camp. They're gonna tell you that there's a point where I reached while crossing the border to come in the camp, and like the struggles were so bad. And even though I'm not a Christian, but I had to pray at the moment. Especially me, I'm gonna say like I I I wasn't so in believing before, but like I reached. There's a moment where I reached, and like I knew that if I don't play at that moment, I'm not gonna move from that place. Like something told me that if you don't make a prayer right now, believe me, you're gonna stuck here. So every refugee, every person who's in the same in camps around Africa, not only in Kenya, they have that because we travel. We have to travel from our own countries, and sometimes we have to move at least into three countries to reach the specific camp where we are going. So believe me, through that journey, there is a specific moment only Jesus was able to take us up from where we are. Like only Jesus was able to pull us up from where we are. So like I'm gonna tell you this, that art is meant for them. Like that's Jesus bending down to see that child who was stuck in dust, and like he's watching the child ready to pull that child up. I'm telling you this because I know the kind of way, because I've been there, and I know the journeys we make. Sometimes people get stuck at the border while coming to refugee camp. Sometimes people get like robbed, like by the people who are taking them. I'm telling you, like you come from your own country with clothings, everything, but like while on the way you get robbed, then you reach in the camp with nothing. So I don't know, like I'm not like, if anyone can get a chance to sit and talk to them, they're gonna know that every refugee has a part of a story, even if they're not Christians. They're gonna tell you that this moment I had to make a prayer. They know Jesus works. Like once you're in a refugee camp, that's when you know how Jesus really works. Like I told you, especially in the journey before, like a camp is a safe place for, like not a safe place, but like at least. But before you reach in a camp, before you reach in a camp, the whole journey, the whole path, believe me, it's only by God's protection. Yeah, and that piece was all about like we all have a story to tell in a moment whereby Jesus helped us. Only Jesus was able to help us.
I think that that is an amazing piece to end on. Just that story of we're all going to be broken and on the dirt floor at some point in our lives, and it's only Jesus who can extend a hand and lift us up. And when he does, what's the story that you're going to be able to tell? How many other people are you going to be able to help point towards Jesus to have that moment themselves too? I think that is so beautiful. I heard a quote recently, and it has always stuck with me. It was a speech, and she was talking, and she said, I don't know how I'm so lucky. There's someone across the world who is smarter, who, if given the same opportunities, would be able to accomplish far greater and make a better impact. They're a better person than me. And I don't know how I'm so lucky. And that's something that I always come to. And I think of you, my friend, that you have the capacity and the ability to change the world. You see it differently. You got this beautiful relationship with Jesus Christ. And I truly think that getting your message out will change the world. And I just want to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to represent you as an artist and to put your artwork out there. So, for everyone listening, this is Manzi. He is an incredible artist. He's got a beautiful vision, and with the resources that he has, it blows my mind what he's able to create. So if you want to support him in his journey, and if you would like to hang some of these beautiful pieces in your home, you can find them all on our website under Manzi. Um, and what you purchase, a large portion is going to go towards Manzi to help him fulfill his dreams and to improve the quality of life for him and his family. So, Manzi, I just want to say thank you. You're an inspiration to all of us.
Thank you so much. Also, I was happy to be here, like in this kind of conversation. Thanks so much, Hunter.